Welcome to Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial, the home for financial advice in a language you can understand. Created by Marc Freedman of Freedman Financial, he and his team of certified financial planner professionals will discuss timely topics that help individuals and families make smart financial decisions. And now, get ready for this week's edition of Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial.
Welcome back to another edition of Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial. My name is Marc Freedman.
And I'm Marion Gilman.
And we're here to provide you with some financial advice in a language you can understand. Well, here we are in middle of February.
Unbelievable.
And last week we had the opportunity to bring Laura, my wife, into the podcast.
A little special Valentine's Day podcast,
yes,
correct?
we did. We did it from our house in front of the fireplace at home.
Yeah.
Something a little fun, something mix it up a little bit.
Lovely setting.
Yeah.
It really looked great.
And hey, since we're talking about lovely and congratulations, you just won a nice award, didn't you, Marion?
There you go. I did, yeah. I'm joining you because you were already named one of the best financial advisors in the state of Massachusetts. And I also received the honor this year of one of the best women financial advisors.
By Forbes magazine.
Forbes magazine does the study. That's correct.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And so we have several award winners here in the office.
We need to keep up the good work.
Yeah, it keeps coming, and we are very proud of the recognition because this is one of those awards that you don't, if you're on an airplane, remember you used to get the Sky magazines and stuff,
Yeah.
and they'd have the best doctors, the best cardiologists,
right.
the best steakhouses. Everybody pays to be in that advertisement. It's not like you were rewarded that. You pay for that slot.
Right.
So
we didn't pay.
No.
This is something that we submit, and we get interviewed, and they do due diligence on us, each of us in the office, to award that, to create the award.
Yes, we don't pay for any of it. So it's actually a nice award it's awarded by our peers, by people in the industry.
Right.
And so it's greatly appreciated.
Yes.
So, one of the things,
good.
Marion, over the past couple weeks, I've been getting a lot of feeds on my phone and social media sites that keep asking the question, is $1 million the right amount to retire with? Or is $2 million the right amount?
Yeah, I see those things as well, and I see those questions posted everywhere, and you look at it and you say, well, what does that even mean? The right amount is not a number. And Mark, I see you got out a great book that was published years ago. I can't remember. When
years
was
ago,
it?
there was a book called The Number by Lee Eisenberg that came out, and it talked about how the number isn't necessarily nearly as what's important as how you plan for your financial future. And you may remember a couple of years ago, there were these ING ads where people would maybe pop up behind a shrub and there'd be a number above their head saying, this is my number, this is what I have to achieve to retire.
Right.
And that is such a fallacy, yet it's still a statement that triggers the minds of many people in this country to say, oh, if I hit this number, I'll be okay. If I hit that number, I'll be okay. And that's really not what it is, Marion, is it?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, that number means nothing to most people because what you need to do, and what we do here, is everything is individualized. So we have clients that live off of, let's say, $5,000 a month, and we have other clients who live off $20,000 a month. Clearly, their assets need to be vastly different if you want to live on $5,000 or you want to live on $20,000. Much different. However, there are a lot of other considerations. What are your other income sources? So most people have Social Security, right? Mm-hmm. But then somebody might have a very large pension, in which case, and if you have a large pension and Social Security, you might need a much lower dollar figure, than if you don't.
Yeah, so one of the things that we reported in one of the books I had written, Retiring for the Genius, written, 2010, something like that.
Was it that long ago?
It was a long time ago, yeah,
wow.
14-something years ago. We talked about the dilemma that we saw with a client that came into the office and she had been a school teacher for a great number of years.
Right.
And she was concerned that she wasn't going to have enough money to retire simply because all she had was a $48,000 a year pension coming to her from her employer. She's going to be entitled to a $48,000 a year pension. And she says, and all of my friends that live around me who are retiring, they all have $1 million in their 401k plan. And she thought, well, I don't have a 401k plan, but I have this $48,000 pension that's coming in. And I helped her realize that it's the same. It's pretty much the same. When you think about what you could take out of that $1 million account to pay you an income stream might be around $48,000. And remember, both of those items are taxable, yet as a teacher, she wasn't going to have to pay state tax on the pension.
And also, as a teacher, one of the things that, in Massachusetts, I should say, that the maximum pension benefit is 80% of your salary. And it's the last 3 years of your highest salary. Thus, when you think about that, 80% of your salary as a pension is actually more net to you than it was while you were working.
Why is that, Marion?
Well, first of all, you're not paying into the pension plan, which you pay in somewhere between 9 and 11% of your salary. So right there, you're at 90% of your salary. And then you're also not paying, you're not having withheld federal and state taxes necessarily, or state taxes anyways. You're not having withheld
union dues.
Union dues, and then there are other things.
You're usually paying for like life
pay.
Insurance and health insurance and all those other things too.
And the health insurance is much less expensive because the teachers, once they retire, they go on a retiree plan, and then it's subsidized. Again, this is for Massachusetts. It's subsidized. So realistically, and then if you were also saving into any type of 403B plan, which many of our clients are, and many teachers do, 80% of your salary, most teachers, when they retire, they see their net check go up rather than down.
Yeah, so there's a lot of factors that go into trying to figure out how much is the right, if you want to call it, number for retirement. There is no right answer because more importantly than anything else, it's not about how much you've accumulated. It's not about what you have. It's about how much you spend. And that's one of those items that people don't really have a great handle on.
Right. And we always tell people, particularly down the road after they've been retired, let's say for 10 years, and they still have money left. Some people are amazed. Oh my gosh, I still have the same amount as when I started. And that's because they spend within their means. And realistically, that's how they got to where they are and to have a comfortable retirement as well. They spent within their means, they saved. So once they retire, they continue to spend within their means. And that is something that you can control. And as long as you are willing to live within that amount of money that would be considered a reasonable distribution from whatever number that is, then you're in great shape.
Yeah, and I will tell you, one of the greatest exercises that we do with all of our clients who are approaching retirement is to try to help them understand what it is that they actually spend money on an annual basis.
Yeah.
Because many of them have no idea, or when they think they know how much they're spending, they're very far off, aren't they?
How far off are they, Mark?
Usually it's 30 to 40% off.
It's amazing. And the reason is when you ask somebody what they spend, and let's say you said, what do you spend on a monthly basis? They forget about, they think about the mortgage, they think about, just other expenses on the house, or basic expenses, sort of. They forget about stuff that they might pay once a year, like insurance or taxes on your house, or I don't know, vacations. They forget about that. Gifts at holiday time. So there are some big expenses that come up over the course of the year that people forget all about.
Yeah, so one of the things that we do as part of our work when working with clients is we ask for you to provide us with 6 months bank statements. And no, we're not going through line by line by line.
We don't care what you spend.
No.
We could care less what you spend your money on.
But because it's what you do. It's what you've grown accustomed to doing.
Right.
But one of the things that we'll find out, there's usually a couple big items within that 6-month period of time. And maybe it's, well, we bought a car, or we had to replace the driveway. And they'll go, well, this is the year we had the wedding, or this is the year we had this, or this. There is always going to be is the year that we ...
Right.
So you have to understand that that's also part of the spending strategy.
Absolutely.
And so it's not about, oh my God, if I scratched a lottery ticket and I won $1 million, would that change my life? And it's not about the number. It's not about that at all. It's not about whether you have $1 million or $2 million or $10 million. It's about understanding how you spend your money.
Right. And one of the tough things to get across sometimes to clients is that all of a sudden, they have saved over the years into, let's say, 401k plans. That 401k plan is locked up, essentially. They can't touch it. It's with their employer, particularly if they've been with one employer over the years and have never changed. They might have built up $1 million, $1.5 million, even $2 million in their 401k plans. So they roll those over, and all of a sudden, they're looking at this money and they say, oh my God, I have $1 million. Well, I'm a millionaire. I'm going to buy this, and I'm going to buy that, and I'm going to buy the other thing. And what's the problem, Mark? What do we see when somebody starts spending like that very early on? They treat themselves to all kinds of stuff.
Well, we see them having to pay taxes on a lot of that stuff too.
Absolutely.
And so to your point, Marion, $1 million in an IRA is far different from $1 million in a brokerage account, which is far different from $1 million in a bank account because of the taxes.
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's really tough, because, again, that money is all taxable income. So if you say, gee, I want $50,000 for a great vacation, I'm going to have a blow-up vacation now that I retired, I'm going to treat myself, you might need to take $75,000
if all you have is
the
retirement assets.
Account. Yeah.
Because you have to pay tax on all of that.
Right.
It might be different in a brokerage account, different in a bank account.
Correct.
You can also, perhaps you have equity in your home. Perhaps you have cash value within a life insurance policy. Whatever it is, as a financial planner, as certified financial planners, we're looking at the big picture to give you that clarity on everything so you can make smart financial decisions when it comes to your retirement.
Absolutely.
And that's what we do at Freedman Financial, and that's called financial advice in a language you can understand. If now's the time for you to get serious about your financial planning and investment management needs, we hope you'll give us a call. Our phone number, 978-531-8108. Or you can visit us on the web, where you can download our free weekly newsletter that comes out every Friday at 10:30. You can learn about our firm, learn about the clients we serve, whether you'd be a good fit, learn about our backgrounds, everything. And
Absolutely.
to get to that website, you go to freedmanfinancial.com. That's Freedman.
2 E's and a D.
Financial.com. And that's it. That's dollars and cents for this week. We'll be back again with more financial advice in a language you can understand next week. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
During today's episode of Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial, your host may have discussed specific financial planning and investment ideas that are for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations. Please remember that investing involves risk and may include loss of principal. Always consult a certified financial planner professional, qualified attorney, or tax advisor prior to investing to determine what is appropriate for you. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA, SIPC.